Jordan Peterson and Colt, IDW, all those fucking people. You got two options. Let me tell you this. You got two options. You see, get a good look at my face, because I'm telling you what to do. This is going to shock you with your academic PTSD teacher disorder syndrome, wherever the fuck you got, where you think everything's trying to school you and everything's a battle, and you're out there yelling to get sun so bad because you got fucking daddy issues. You want to find daddy so bad, okay? And that's what you do. You're trying to find daddy off the inverse of wanting to get fucking sunned, son. Okay, so you got two choices. Either cling to your ideologies and your ideological possession, or you get Marxism, which is basically a classless society. Okay, class means like ideologies, labels, shit like that. Okay, that's Marxism. Alright, so there's that, or there's sit in your ideological abyss and spin tires. Okay, that's really all there is. Now, I never say this to Jordan Peterson. You know, I just let him plant his roots, and I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's a postmodernist. Okay, he doesn't want to take his postmodernist loss or whatever he cries about. He's a relativist. All those people in academia are relativists. They don't even know how to get out of relativity. They don't know how to get out of duality. They just make mouth noise and say, oh, but I don't live in duality. But you can sure offer them a narrative that suits their duality, and they'll fucking eat it up all day long. So if you can't get them to directly confess, you can go around on the inverse and prove that they're in a fucking a duality conundrum. That's what they're in. And you can offer them all sorts of safe place narratives. One of them is like, oh, I'm just trolling. They're pessimistic. You know, so Socrates would always say, well, I know nothing. And nobody would argue him there. Because, you know, they want people to know nothing. They'll happily accept that because it's intimidating for them to know something. So now knowledge is intimidating. Like I always say, knowledge is evil. Now they're going to destroy intellectualism because they can't handle knowledge being evil, which is what it is. But you got to cope with that. And I don't have to clarify in what context I'm using the word evil. And it's meant for you to assume. It's meant for you to either assume or ask a question. By what do I mean by evil? Okay? All this subtle teaching shit Brett Weinstein has on his page. I've been doing that for years. They think it is an evolution. They're wrong. They're rape culture. They're trying to steal everything in order to put themselves back in charge. Sorry. That's done. Jesus Christ threw you off your fucking pedestal and said, put your face in the fucking dirt because that's where you belong. So, you know, go repent. Put your face in the fucking ground and repent. Say sorry. Mean it honestly. Get over it. Detach. You lost. Okay? Clean slate. Alright? Let's go with a clean slate and not keep going with the same level of consciousness that created the fucking problem in the first place. Because even an idiot like Albert Einstein knew that that wasn't possible. Alright? And Albert Einstein said one experiment could prove him wrong. So I'm going to say relativity is bullshit. And if that's a relative subjective statement, then guess what? Relativity is bullshit. And you can argue that till you're blue in the face and say, but. It's not even that matter is relative subjective. It's that matter is something else. And I won't tell that and I won't reveal that because I'm going to make them buy that off me. I put that in my book. These fucking morons looking for their souls. I put their soul in this fucking book I'm going to sell them. Okay? And then they're going to go out there and they're going to be able to rebuild things in an appropriate fashion from a foundation of logic and rationality and truth that jives with reality. Where reality is just people. Reality is not like, yo, that's Dominic. He's the man. Blah, 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 blah. I'm nobody to the reality. I am no one and nobody to the fucking reality. That's just how that is. And, you know, you do your time here and you pass on. You don't stay here trying to be immortal and climb into fucking robots. That's crazy. That's like Mark of the Beast 666 shit. And that's, you know, what I was saying earlier about the tantra and this culture coming out to 666. Okay, that's what that is. And culture blocks out the roots, that it's all people. Okay, culture is division. It's divisions in groups of people. That's conflict, division, and fear. That's all over knowledge, okay? And if I were to say to almost anybody, do you think the root of disorder... Well, let me say that. Do you think the very root of disorder is to crave and be obsessed by this order? Directly. And people will say no, and that puts them on one side and somebody that says yes on the other side. And I don't even have to be right. I just have to say yes or no or the opposite. And that pretty much brings forth that the root of disorder is this idea that everything can be ordered. Okay, that's obsessive neurotic bullshit. That's possession. Okay, people are possessed. So the very root of disorder is actually to crave and think everything can be ordered out here in the world. You can't do that. You have to order things within. You have to equalize things within yourself. You can't equalize matter out here. If I say matter cannot be equalized, then somebody's going to be like, blah, 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 blah. You can't fight the fucking laws, because the laws prove themselves when you try to fight them. And then you're blinded in your fucking duality coma. You can't see that. I don't give a fuck. Okay? The laws are of gravity. You can't fight them. They're immutable, axiomatic. Jordan Peterson isn't the one that started immutable, axiomatic. Okay? He sits out there trying to play Father and Jesus Christ to these kids. It's fucking disgusting. It's loser shit, is what it is. Okay? Let these kids be free. Let them be. Stop fucking meddling with their heads like you've been doing all your lives. That's all that generation that he's a part of does. Okay? My parents do it. Every motherfucker their age does it. And I'm tired of it. Okay? Now people deserve to be thrown in a FEMA camp. And if they're cutting funding to old people and they want them to die faster, maybe that's the reason why. So when those people get older, they just fucking die out real quick. They don't have anything to fall back on or anything. And then you get rid of them people and that's that. You start a whole new thing. There's no more of these fucking crazy lunatics. Alright? And it's kind of an evil thing. It's a real risky business. But it's going to be a bunch of kids without guardians. Because they're all going to be killed. Okay? One way or the other. Whether they sterilize them and cut them off that way. Or another way. There's going to be this huge gap. Where there's not going to be any adults. Except for like the reigning elite. Okay? There's not going to be any of this, like, it's going to be very different. So, we're already signed up for that. Hook, line, and sinker. We've been accepting that for years, buying into that for years. And that's not going to change. So, these people, you know, they can't take a loss. They can't give up. They can't even, like, stop wanting to get paid outrageous amounts of money for doing nothing. I mean, Jordan Peterson's making all this money on Patreon and wherever else. The dude's been a fucking Marxist the whole time. And he doesn't even know that much. And he's sitting there trying to... That's what presuppositions are. They cleave away the chaff. Cleave. You know what cleaving is? So, that's what that does. And you cleave these people down into a classless, raceless, faceless, unspeakable, unnameable, unchallengeable, undeniable society. And that's what that is. That's Marxism. If you go look up the definition of Marxism, you'll see it right there. Like I said earlier, I don't let these people tell me what to think or how to think it so they can peddle their fucking snake oil to me. I go into the dictionary and I look it up. Okay? That's how I discovered the circumcision that people are doing is wrong. Okay? Circumcision means spiritual purification. Circumcision of the heart, not of your fucking genitals. And that's how that is, okay? I just picked up a dictionary and I looked it up, alright? Not a whole big professional fucking psychosis thing about it, okay? It's just critically thinking for yourself. And you can't critically think when these people are telling you, critically think like this, do. It's crazy. It's lunacy. And I'm surprised people still even play into that and spend all their money to get dumbed down like that. That's what people just did. They spent all their money to get brain damage and dumbed down. Now they're all stupid and dumb by the same people that are trying to get them smart. The same people that turn around now like, we don't even like smart. Destroy intellectualism. It's a cult of genius. That's all loser shit. That's sore loser shit. Poor sportsmanship. Okay? And, you know, I don't really have much to say. There's not a whole lot to say about it. The more you say about it, the more you're doing the speakable Tao. There's the unspeakable Tao, and there's the speakable Tao. I don't really fucking want to go out there and do what Jordan Peterson does. Doesn't mean I'm less capable. And I'm going to sit there and let people spawn bias off that all day long. Because I'd rather trap them in their bias than go out there and be like, yeah, I'm successful, and blah, and join the fucking circus. I really don't care. Because I'm not that guy anyway. That takes away from all my friends that I know and love that also are valid people, okay? And I think they have great things to share. I share with them all the time. We have great times. And I don't need to know about their sex life. You know, I have transgender friends, gay friends. I don't care about their sex life. They don't care about pushing that upon me, okay? And even if they do, I'm comfortable with it. I'm not homophobic or any of that, okay? And I enjoy my time that I have with my friends. And that's that, you know. I'm not, like, scared of that or anything like that. I don't care that they're liberal. I don't ask. I don't say, well, you saved by Jesus. I don't get into all that. You know, philosophy is like a hobby. All that shit is hobby to me. I keep it in the imagination. Where thieves can never get to. Where rust can never get. I keep that in the imagination. So, it's unquestionable. I really don't give a shit. And if you think you can question it, then fine. Go ahead and question it. I don't care. If you think I'm wrong, then fine. I'm wrong. And all I have to do is think you're wrong. And then that makes two of us. Okay? Now we've equalized that. We're both wrong. And this is the thing academics have trouble with, which is being wrong. So you can never equalize anything because they don't want to be equal. Okay? And I was talking to a guy tonight, and he said something like, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. And I said, fine, you know, I'm a liar, and I think you're a liar. That makes us the same person. Oh, well, show me how I lied. Dude, I'm not here to fucking babysit your bitch ass, alright? I ain't here to babysit you and tell you where you lied. The guy was lying the whole fucking time. He's such a loser. Sorry-ass loser. Oh, I love surprises. He fucking hated surprises. Trust me. I got him with every fucking surprise in the book, and he hated it the whole time. His mouth doing one thing, and that's the problem with unsorted people in their shadow. Their mouth does one thing, and their actions deceive them. Okay? And they can't see their actions. They're doing all this boo 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 boo, and he kept saying, I offer rational discussion. You're irrational. Blah blah blah. And then he went to say, oh, I'm not in duality. Well, why do you keep asserting that you're rational and I'm irrational? What are you trying to get out of that? He's trying to have his dualities. He doesn't want to admit that he's wrong. Poor baby. I don't care. I don't care. That's his actions. He did it. I'm not there to point out his mistakes. He needs to see that himself. Okay, Socrates wasn't here to babysit and be like, you made a mistake, mate. Let me define faith for you. Okay, I'm not here to define faith. Faith just is. It's unquestionable. Faith isn't a fucking belief. That's hope. Faith is the absence of your own trust and will. Not a belief that you made up. Okay, that's not faith. Faith is I don't know. It's I know nothing. I'm going to have faith and see what happens. I don't know. You know, the future is infinite. There's all sorts of potential there. And I really don't know. Because we don't know. And the second we think we know, a lot of times the other thing can happen. And sometimes we get lucky and we know. Okay, so what? I try not to delude myself with that shit. Because then that robs faith. I start putting trust in my own self and my own will and my own beliefs. I don't really do all that. I don't care about that. Okay? And I learned to be a little bit different a long time ago in a few different ways that academics are totally unfamiliar with. Okay? You learn right out of the gravity at like light speed and epiphanies. There's an epiphany state you can go into. Okay? And you can read about that. The information's out there. There's another guy that I saw on Twitter in India. He's like the only other guy that I've seen talking about this stuff. And that's exactly what he's talking about. Entering these deep states of meditation and things like that. Where you have these rapid fire epiphanies. Things come to you at light speed. You just pull them right out of your ass. Like this 369 thing. And everything else I've ever started pondering. That's all critical thinking. I pull that out of my ass. It doesn't make sense all the time at first. And then I work on it. Okay? I work on it. And once the product's finished, then I put it out there. And people can't defeat it. And you can always get someone to critique your work by triggering them. Putting your work out there. And they're not going to sit there and be like, alright, you defeated me. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody, there's if you could do that, you got a lot going for you. If you can own up and say, alright, I'm wrong, you defeated me, then you're going to be able to make peace out there. And if somebody can tell you to shut up and you can deal with that, no, I'm not saying this to try to give you advice on like, go out there and just shut up. That's not what that is, so don't start thinking that. But this is what I do. Somebody tells me to shut up, I can shut up to keep the peace. I really don't care about my persona and my personality that much that I have to keep going. I have to keep, no, I'm not going to shut up. You're going to tell me what to do. I simply don't fucking care, okay? Great, day one. They told me to shut up. I'm still alive. Hey, I'm still here. Look at me go. It means nothing. It really does. So get over all that shit. Have a nice fucking life. Have a good time. Go out with your friends. Have a good time. Don't fucking obliterate everybody with philosophy. Trying to impress yourself and others and being the most rational of the bunch. Because that's all fucking clown shit. Alright? And you don't really want to be the most rational. You don't want to be that guy. Trust me. You don't want to fucking be him. And if you were, you wouldn't carry that around with you. You know? Just like I said, I don't take that with me to the bar when I go out drinking, when I go out with my friends, when I go out to see a movie, or when I go and just hang at my buddies. I don't sit there and talk all that shit. If they want to talk about that, cool, I'll talk about it with them. But I'm not here to force beliefs on them. And you almost get them to agree with you more when you're not trying to be forceful to them. Okay? You almost create a gravity that's not intimidating. And that's kind of what you do. That's what Donald Trump does. He creates gravities that aren't intimidating. You know, in the end, you're going to be like, wow, he really kicked ass, and we were all wrong. We thought he was a fucking idiot. And maybe he was an idiot. Maybe things aren't as hard as they are, and even an idiot like Einstein can accomplish a lot. Okay, they all told him he was stupid, he'd never be anything. They all told Carl Jung he was crazy, schizophrenia. Now they fucking Carl Jung's schizophrenia is smarter than they are. They all admire schizophrenia of Carl Jung. And that's the way that is. And I think it's kind of funny because they're so against schizophrenia, they don't even know what the shit is. Yet they're admiring Carl Jung's schizophrenia, which contributed a lot to psychology. And they're in awe over this fucking schizophrenia. Point blank. So they can take that however. But that's what that was. That motherfucker's schizophrenia built most of that fucking awesomeness in psychology that they admire. So don't forget that.